Today's show is sponsored by Indie Film Hustle's Filmmaker process. We provide filmmakers with professional services to get their films or series funded, finished, and distributed. For more information, go to filmmakerprocess.com. You know, when Night Watch came out, I saw it early on, and the visuals of it were so impactful. I mean, they were just stuff I've really never seen before, and I've been a cinephile most of my life, worked in video stores, and I've studied all the greats. But your style was so unique, you know, and then obviously when you did Wanted and Day Watch, that kind of, you know, when Wanted show up, and we'll talk about Wanted in a minute, but it was just so visceral, the visual style of it. Who were your influences, and how did you kind of come up with this language? Because it's a language, it is so specifically you. Like after you, there was a lot of copycats that tried to do what you do. But people like you and Zack Snyder and even Michael Bay, Tony Scott, they have very specific kinds of language. Yours is very specific. How did you come up with it?
I told you I was a production designer with a background being an artist, being developing the new visual languages, and also I like to experiment. I like to put things not upside down, but like just to put things a right way, because we live in a world of stereotypes. Because of the culture means stereotypes, means rules, and sometimes you need to step back and just be little crazy, little childish, little naive, little unresponsible, you know, just to flip things, you know, just to feel something, you know, because it's what I do. My way to create the chaos and then to try to organize. You know, you need to destroy things. You need to challenge everything: the story, the aesthetics, the rules of the genre, and then when you messing it, then somehow it gives you then energy, and then you need to organize. And when you're organizing it, trying to tell the story, then it will be your way. It will be your story, and not somebody else's story. And also it's based on I grew up in the country with very talented filmmakers like Eisenstein, or like a Kuleshov created the editing, the editing system, and Eisenstein, the poetry of cinema, and then we had I watched a lot of art movies from the 70s and 60s, 70s, 80s from European filmmakers like Fellini, Antonioni, and because I don't know why it was so popular in the Soviet Union. All these art movies from Italy and France, and then I was a disciple of Roger Corman. This is probably the easiest.
That's amazing.
Answer. Who am I? Because I made a first movie with him.
You worked with Roger? Really? I didn't know you worked with Roger at the beginning.
Yes, friend of mine, my mentor. Love him. He's a real filmmaker. He loved movies itself, and I think maybe it's an answer. Maybe it's an answer. Maybe the movie I made, like Wanted, it is a Roger Corman movie. It's a B movie, whatever.
B movie made with a little bit of a little bit higher budget.
Yeah, with a little higher budget. And the Night Watches also.
Yeah,
because I made a movie for him, with him, spent a lot of time with him. He was in Russia, and we spent days talking about his backstory, and he gave me a lot. He has a childish, whatever, he's in love with the cinema itself. You know, like not specifically, he's very, very educated, very. He has a very good taste, but at the same time, he has a sense of humor and lightness, allowing his movies to be audience friendly,
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's what I think. This is what who am I? I think it came from. It's a mix between Fellini and Roger Corman. but it's not funny. It's not funny because I think he was the official distributor of Fellini movies in the United States.
Yes, he was.
He has rights for all art movies, European art movies.
Yeah, people think of Corman only as these kind of schlocky, like straight B movies that he would pump out like and never lose a dime on. But he's a very, very educated man and a very smart film producer. He's probably one of the most legendary film producers of all time. And he gave so many filmmakers their start. From Coppola to Scorsese to Ron Howard to Jack Nicholson and the list, James Cameron. I mean, it just goes on and on. So, yeah, but I've never connected the two, Fellini and Corman, in the same conversation. And if I would have, that was not the answer I was looking for. That's not the answer I expected. And I was like, wow, that's a great answer to that, because Roger's amazing. He's a remarkable producer.
Friend of mine. Here was a film festival in Russia a few weeks ago. It's a sci-fi film festival, a new one. And I called him and I said, Roger, can you help people and be like in jury and like and he said, yeah. And he recorded this speech. And he said, unfortunately, I cannot come because of the COVID. But he recorded the speech and he was in jury. He gave his advices, and that's unbelievable. He's a man who has a freedom. He's not scared.
Oh no, scared is not a word that I would imagine with Roger Corman. That for sure. That's not one of the words that I would associate with him at all. He's a legend. To watch the rest of this interview, head over to indiefilmhustle.com.